Okay, so let's watch this interview, which was, I guess, um, for this show Suits, which to this day, I don't watch TV. I don't care about this. And when I think of USA Network, I think of like a network that used to air the show Wings all the time with that one guy that was kind of good looking. It was like an 80s series or a 90s series. That's all I think of. I don't watch TV. This is just like a network for a bunch of reruns. Now, I just want you to see if I'm going to critique this interview.
About 2 years ago. All right, it's Ruben J here at the USA Network premiere for season premiere of Suits, for season 5, with Meghan Markle. Actually, it's not a card, that's the red card for you.
We'll use the red card.
We'll use the red card. There you go. Well, I asked you.
Okay, my first critique of her is he has questions written out to ask her. And instead of just standing there respectfully, she gets in his space and demands to read the cards with his questions. And he's kind of like taking them away from her because he's just like, kind of, bitch, get out of my space. But she's totally enveloping him. She barely ever lets him finish a sentence. Watch what I'm saying. First of all, she hasn't yet.
Because here, obviously, you play Rachel, who's Mike's love interest in the show.
Right.
Who did it? Who turned him in?
No.
How do you not know?
Of course I know, but I can't tell you.
You can tell me off camera.
No. I mean, here's the thing. People think they want to know, but no one wants a spoiler.
Yeah, you don't want to
It
be like...
takes all the fun out of it,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
So I think what's been so interesting is, like, as a person, I read the script before we
my
shoot
God.
it, and I call the creator, Aaron.
I
I'm
want to
like,
slap
"What?"
her. I want to
And
slap her.
I read it like a viewer, and then I have to take a step back and read it as Rachel would, right? Like her experience of
Can I
it.
tell you my
You
guess?
are Rachel.
Who is it?
Yeah.
I think it's Scott.
Look
Okay.
at those hands
And
again.
my reasoning is... not
She's
that it makes
always
sense to you,
rubbing her
because
fingers.
obviously, Harvey chose Mike over Scott. So Scott is going to take the one thing that obviously more important.
Look at the way she's looking at him. She's trying to give him attention, but she's just kind of fucking with him.
That's my thought process.
Okay.
And according to...
Look at her with the eyes.
Wow. So, I don't
I think you're pretty off.
You know.
But it's a really good guess. The logic makes sense. Yeah. The logic works.
Okay, so he's not really interviewing her because she's basically running her own interview here. She doesn't really ever let him ask a question and then she answers it. It's like she's in his face, she's reading his cards, she's asking questions for him. She has bizarre eye movements, bizarre facial movements, expressions, just trying to get really up in his space. She's doing this really weird eye contact thing where she's just trying to be super flirtatious. I just think she's very rude and very narcissistic. My vibe is like, what a bitch. And if I were a person that watched TV, I would turn this off immediately. I'm not amused by this at all. I can't believe that Great Britain let this thing in there and gave it an HRH title. I would have to say to Queen Elizabeth, get her the hell out. Do you know this one's just going to grow into a bigger narcissist? But she's trying to like be real flirtatious with him. Do you really think she's attracted to him? She's just trying to dominate everything.
Now, in season one, when Micah hired, you had no interest in him, or at least played it off. At what
Right.
point do you think throughout the 4 seasons did Megan, or did Rachel start give him all the confused?
Megan was like, you know what? Mike,
Look at-
this fictitious character. There's some.
Okay, she's invading his space so much that now she's all over him. This woman is pure narcissist. She's not cute. Think Grace Kelly. You guys, an American actress. She's not an actress. She had a bunch of plastic surgery work done. Daddy got her in the industry, and she happened to land a show, and she thinks she is hot shit. You know. Ugh.
Something here. So the Rachel, meanwhile.
When did Rachel fall for him?
I think she
What is
probably,
with her jaw?
in the middle of season one, as we're watching that courtship develop.
Look at the
She probably found it
hands.
so refreshing because she was so accustomed
Oh, okay.
to these men
Wait a minute.
that had
She found it so refreshing.
I think she probably, in the middle of season one, as we're watching that courtship develop, she probably just found him so refreshing because she was so.
Where have we heard her use that before? That was how she described her relationship with Prince Harry when she was being interviewed by the woman that, I don't know what BBC was trying to do, or whatever, ITV or wherever that came from. It was a woman that you couldn't tell what race she was. She had no makeup on. She was like as dull and droll as possible, giving this interview interviewing Harry and Meghan, where she was kind of basically doing the same thing. She was up in Harry's space, but she used the same word. Refreshing. It was so refreshing. And so natural. This girl ain't natural. Every single move this one makes is plotted out. And again, you can see where some of the extensions are. And this is one big, huge extension. Poofed up to make her look cute. Which actually, I'd rather see her in a style like this. She has probably a little wig on or some shit. But there she goes. She uses that word refreshing. Same way she described her relationship with Prince Harry. It was so refreshing and so natural. And what were we doing? We are roasting a chicken. But she doesn't eat meat, right? Help me out, She's just up in this guy's face.
So accustomed to these men that had this bravado and posturing, more of the Logan Sander types, right? Like the guys who come in.
Look at the hair, the hand, the fingers, nonstop.
Confidence has developed over the past few seasons. Certainly, it's a very different approach at the onset.
I can't remember what else I was going to ask you.
You don't even have a card.
Look at this. She totally takes his private property right away from him.
Who did it?
So she just basically says, fuck you. You're not moving fast enough for me. I'm going to do this damn thing myself. That's who your Duchess is? She gives this man no respect at all. She's just like, fuck it. I'm going to just take the shit from you, dude. You're not moving fast enough for me. You're not on my level, okay? Wow. I would never do that to anyone. This is just a bitch. And this is a member of the royal family. Can you imagine the way she behaves in private? Because what I'm seeing in public is offensive as far as just her demeanor. It's like, I've never seen anybody so conceited. So I think we can safely use the word narcissistic. Can you imagine her at Balmoral with the Queen? This chick is going to require an entire wing. And if her mama is supposed to be coming out, is her mama going to get a wing at Balmoral? No, her mom won't be invited to Balmoral. She might be, but she won't see the queen. Maybe she might. Wow. Just to anybody over there in Great Britain, this is not normal behavior. I mean, I used to sell, okay, I used to sell real estate. Well, I mean, I worked inside, okay, whatever. When I sold, say, medical devices, we'll just use one thing. If I would have done this in my job, even if I was just having fun with somebody on some off time that was related to my industry, this is very unacceptable. Unacceptable. Pushy. A bitch. Wow, that chick is crazy. You know, I don't know. I act this way, you know what? When I have some guy at a bar trying to hit on me and I'm trying to get rid of them as fast as possible. Yeah, you want to talk to me? Fine. I'll give you 10 minutes of my time and then I'm done with you, doofus. I'm moving on. And sometimes I do that. I just try to be obnoxious as possible so that people will leave me alone. It's not something I do on a regular basis, but I'm just saying I have done it. Especially at bars downtown. But not often. But that's when I kind of turn into that, maybe in that scenario. But that's the only time where I have no respect for the other person. I just want to get them off my shit as fast as I can. She's taken over the interview.
Like Rachel's obviously, like, for me, I think, you know,
she's trying to be
on television.
That's kind, thank you. She's like, fucking, of course I fucking know it.
I don't know what it's like for you to be playing Rachel's name, who, you know, the backstory is, you know, daughter of a lawyer, working in a law firm, wanting to make her own way, falls in love with this guy who ends up being a criminal. What's it like playing Rachel?
Never.
I love it. I mean, like, I find her so... Look, there are times when I don't love it because... No. We're going to get to that in a second.
Wow.
There are times that I don't love it because she cries more than anyone in the entire world.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I am not personally...
She's not interested in anything he has to say. She's talking about a fictional character right now. She could give two fucks about him. She took all of his cards away. This chick is a bitch.
That I'm not sensitive in that same way, so I have to empathize with the fact that she has to take things on. Granted, her life is a lot more complicated than most people's, and there's a lot of added pressure. I love playing her, though, because I really see her as a role model for young women, and I take seriously the choices she makes and the fact that she really values her career as well as her relationship and finding that balance. So for me, it's a lot of fun, plus I can borrow from her amazing closet, which, as a girl, I'm really pleased to be able to do.
It's always a plus. One of the most well-dressed casts.
So right there, she's telling you, I want to be able to borrow. So basically, she steals the clothes. Okay? They're not supposed to keep those clothes, you know. So she borrows from the closet. She probably has a closet full of that shit. Okay? But see, now she's letting us know that she wants amazing clothes, that she's a clothes horse. Okay, fine. Let's not forget Kate Middleton. The outfit she wore to that wedding, to her wedding, to Meghan's wedding. That was the fourth time she did that dress. And I was still allowing some comments on my page, and I thought I was wrong. And I looked, and I looked, and I looked, and I looked, and someone said, no, you're wrong. And I'm like, shit, okay. But it's almost it was the same dress, as it turns out. It was the fourth time she recycled it. So the future Queen of England didn't even find her important enough to get a new dress. That was the fourth time she wore it. What do you guys think that's saying? Because if it'd be a relative that I loved that was getting married, I'd make sure I get something special for that. You think Kate Middleton sitting in that front row with the same hat and the same coat dress on, no one was going to notice that it was the fourth time she wore it? Okay.
On television.
We're very lucky to have each other. Okay, so
what's next for Rachel and I? Oh, I'm glad you can read my shorthand.
Yeah, you're like a doctor.
Just give away all my secrets here.
And then she shows it. Okay,
Okay,
to me, that's embarrassing. You know, I got to tell you, I went to, I was at a bar where I had my shopping list in my pocket and it dropped out